Is this on? Okay. Laughter is good for the soul is another one of the commonly heard phrases about laughter's beneficial effects. Laughter frees us from our expectations of behavior and the notion that we can predict or control the things that happen in our environment. Laughter is the expression of our feelings of that freedom. Through laughter, we become freer, allowing our emotions and spontaneity to let loose, contributing to our higher appreciation of the universe and liberation of our spirits. Laughter gives us a way to release some of the discomfort or awkwardness that comes from a situation that is either uncomfortable or outright absurd. We often find ourselves with an attachment to the notion that things should be or behave in a certain way. When this notion is challenged or thrown out of the window completely, by laughing, not only do we prevent ourselves from becoming irritated or angry, we begin to break down our attachments and become free to accept things as they are, and in turn become more tranquil. It is like when someone's cell phone goes off during the service. There is a palpable discomfort, not just for the owner, but for the whole room. But then when the Reverend makes a little joke about it, we can laugh it away and get back to our meditation and our contemplation of the service's message. Laughter lightens our burdens, inspires our hopes, connects us to others, and keeps us grounded, focused, and alert. It is no wonder that laughter also plays such a large part in our spiritual development. The importance of laughter in our spirituality is rooted in the teachings of many of our world's religions. Laughter is appreciated in the Zen Buddhist tradition perhaps more eloquently than in any other formal religion or religious tradition. Because Zen focuses on the interplay and juxtaposition of the categories of things, Zen writings contain many jokes, puns, and wordplays. One of the really big jokes is that the absolute realm, in which we are all one, and the relative realm, in which we are all distinct, are exactly the same. It's written that when we realize this for the first time, we can hardly help from laughing. But of course, when we become familiar with it, we might become like the Buddha and just quietly smile. Another of my old favorites is the story about when the Buddha, as a young man, walks up to a hot dog vendor and says, "Make me one with everything." He takes the hot dog and gives the vendor his money. When the vendor accepts his money without saying anything, the Buddha asks about his change. The vendor fixes his gaze on the young Buddha and says, "Young man, change comes from within." In the Zen tradition, there are 6 stages of laughter, and each has its own unique quality. They start with just a trickle of merriment, an almost secret smirk, and they work their way up to a final, out-of-control explosion. So I thought we might practice these this morning as a way of getting ready for our enlightenment when it comes. It'll take a bit of skill, of course. You've got to watch that your state of laughter doesn't upstage your neighbor. So let's practice. Okay, shtick's over. I really can't get this done. So let's practice this as we go through the 6 steps. The first step is the church laugh. This is the smirk that begins inside you when something happens, like someone showing up dressed completely inappropriately for church. You feel it, and you think you can let it out without becoming too obvious. It's a titter. Sometimes people call it a snicker. And as much as you want to let it out, you have to stuff it down. You know it's funny, but you can't let on. So let's try that little church laugh. Something funny's happened, you just a little bit, a little smile. Okay. All right, so the next, once you're beyond that, we get to the chuckle. And you begin to expose yourself. Well, okay, you know what I mean. It's a soft laugh, a real one, but in a low tone. The dictionary says it's like the clucking of a head. It's sort of a giggle or a series of uncontrollable, rapid, short sounds. So, next we come to the chortle, a word coined by Lewis Carroll. It's a gleeful chuckle or a chuckle plus. You can add a snorting sound if you like. Can't avoid it, I've heard you. Moving on from the chortle, we get to the ha ha ha. Now we're working up to it. We're past the middle range, and you can begin to really let it out. This is a loud, this is almost like a bray. A ha ha ha. Now we get to the guffaw, the full-on belly laugh. Let's really, really laugh it up. And now, for the brave, the sixth and final laugh, a cachinnation, a loud, completely unrestrained letting go. All the way, the devil be damned as to the consequences. Includes cackles and snorts and burps and whatever comes out. So let's really Now we've all taken a short step forward and being prepared for our enlightenment. Thank you very much.